Who are the better drivers, the rallymen used to blasting through the forests, or the Grand Prix drivers with their precision but inexperience of the rough stuff? Relaxed and cheerful before the heat of the contest, they talk to Simon Taylor.
I think most rally drivers can drive on the tar, it's no problem. But to get the last 10% out of the job, you've got to start, forgetting all your rally experience and start adopting a different line and being very, very much tidier. The big problem all the rally guys find on the circuit is the traffic. These hooligans who try to have you off all the time.
Last night I was told how serious it is and this, that and the other. And every year I've just come to enjoy myself and have a bit of fun, but this year is very serious. So all the Grand Prix drivers, I got together and said, including John who's sitting here, I said we're going to try very hard this year to beat them, aren't we, John?
Oh yes, yes.
No doubt about it.
And no doubt about it, Nigel Mansell is first away representing the Grand Prix drivers in the mighty 300 horsepower V8 Rover. Now, Nigel is comparatively strange to this. Look at the way he's throwing the car about. Slowest in practice when he was getting the feel of the Rover. And the course is very tricky. It's still quite damp. Underneath the tyres, the rally stage there is very slippery. And they go from the forest tracks to tarmac and back again. And Nigel Mansell, now just watch the way he controls this car. It's a very, very powerful motor car. 5-speed, it's big, it's comparatively heavy for a rally car, but it handles absolutely superbly. And Nigel Mansell certainly seems to have got the feel of it as he comes towards us, through the wood, away again, letting the back drift out again, down towards the crowd, into the right-hander, and soon back onto the tarmac where he can really feed the power through. They've all got Michelin Forest tyres on the cars, which are very suitable for where they are now, not so suitable for the tarmac, of course. And it's onto the tarmac now. Now away again onto the loose stuff to rejoin the tarmac shortly. Through the S-bend at the top, past the bales, and Nigel Mansell clips them. He's onto the tarmac now, dropping down to the descent. This is the quickest part of the course. Right down through the gearbox into first gear, locks the wheels and gets it too far round. He's lost time there, but it's 2 minutes and 2 seconds to the hairpin. And that's going to be our checkpoint time for all the drivers. And Nigel Mansell is almost home now. He goes into the loop here, back onto the tarmac, gets his foot hard down. Now he's going to fling it left. Watch the back step out as Nigel feeds the power in. Straightens it out, goes onto the grass a bit, into a right-hander now, and then under the finish banner, and we'll see what the time is. 2 minutes, 41.7 seconds. This is Grand Prix driver John Watson.
Yes, I'm just watching now.
The man who has driven in the McLaren Grand Prix team for so long, but as I talk is still looking for a Grand Prix drive in 1984. The most experienced Grand Prix driver of them all at the present moment. And this is a typical John Watson drive. Neat, unflurried. And he doesn't do any of this at all between rally sprints. A truly great driver who can step out of a 500 horsepower Grand Prix McLaren into a 300 horsepower rally Rover and deal with it all as competently as John is. By the way, these cars built originally for the Paris to Peking rally, which was to have been held and now has been postponed. And they've got 60-gallon fuel tanks. Nothing like that in them now, of course. Watson through the forest. Into the left-hander. The target time at the hairpin so far, which Watson is approaching very soon indeed, is 2 minutes 2 seconds. Nigel Mansell. Jim McRae did 2 minutes 3 seconds. Watson on his way now. Past the bales. Right, left, right again. Onto the tarmac, over the crest, down the hill, approaching the hairpin, down through the gearbox, lock round to the right, and he's hairpin time as he stops, but not for as long as McRae did. 2 minutes, 3 seconds, exactly the same time as Jimmy McRae. But you remember, McRae stopped, McRae went very wide here. John Watson has kept it going. He should be quicker than McRae over the entire stage, but we'll see. 2 minutes 43.9, Jim McRae. 2 minutes 41.7, Nigel Mansell, the fastest yet. Watson approaching the last corner. Under the banner, and it is 2 minutes 41.5, the fastest yet for John Watson. And there is rally driver from Finland, Pentti Arikkala. Now, the good news for Arikkala, the bad news for Mansell, McRae and Watson is that the course is drying out very, very rapidly indeed. Arikkala has got a tremendous advantage here. The course is much drier than it was. And of course, Pentti Arikkala is a very accomplished and successful rally driver. He is in his element. Better conditions. He hasn't driven the big V8 Rover before, but he's driven the Vauxhall Chevette. He has driven the Lancia Rally. He's got an enormous amount of rally experience, and doesn't it show? Just look at him go. Pentti Arikkala lives in Cookham Dean, very close to Keke Rosberg, the Grand Prix driver, very close to Ari Vatanen, his rally, and run for your lives, he says. On their way they go, the crowd, perfectly all right. And the tremendously spectacular Pentti Arikkala, who has a reputation of being a bit brutal with the machinery, but my goodness, it seems to be paying dividends today. And he's demonstrably quicker here. How is he going to be at the hairpin? The fastest yet, 2 minutes, 2 seconds, Nigel Mansell. Pentti nudges one of the bales. Now we're going to see down the hill into the hairpin, and this is very quick indeed. And he's kept it going. 1 minute 52 seconds compared with Nigel Mansell's 2 minutes and 2 seconds. That's how much quicker the course is. Plus, of course, Pentti Arikkala being a very accomplished rally driver. So, the fastest time so far, 2 minutes 41.5, John Watson. Pentti Arikkala, reveling in the drier conditions, is almost there. There's the banner. And what a time, 2 minutes 27.4. That's 14 seconds faster than John Watson. And now here is the first timer. This is Derek Warwick, Grand Prix driver, late of the Tolman team. And in 1984, he is driving for the Renault Formula One Grand Prix team on equal status with Patrick Tambay, and is a potential British world champion. But this is the first time he has driven on a rally stage like this. Although Derek Warwick is very used to loose conditions, he originally made his reputation by being the Super Stocks world champion, and that calls for perfect throttle control on very loose going. Through the woods towards us, Derek Warwick. Rover V8, 300 horsepower, which is about 300 less than Derek Warwick is used to with the Tolman. But you wouldn't think, to look at Derek Warwick, that this was the first time he'd driven in anything like this.
Surely in with a chance.
Just letting the back step out a little bit too much there. He's lost a bit of time, but not a lot.
As he goes into the hairpin at the bottom of the
Now back to the hairpin. What is Derek Warwick's time going to be as he goes to the right, the left, the right, then rejoins the tarmac? And I remind you that the fastest hairpin time we have so far is that of Pentti Arikkala, 1 minute 52. Derek Warwick, oh, that's the best anybody's gone round the hairpin because he's kept it going, but his time comparatively slow, 2 minutes up to there, comparatively slow in comparison with Arikkala, that is. And oh, Derek, that has blown it for Derek Warwick. He almost stops there as he goes onto the grass, but accelerates away onto the tarmac. Penty Auricula's the quickest so far, 2 minutes 27.4. The conditions better for Warwick than they were for Mansell, McRae and Watson.
35.
And Warwick's time, 2 minutes 37.9, is second only to Penty Auricula. And here is the fastest rally driver of them all, Stig Blomqvist, who has amazed everybody this year with his incredible performances in the German four-wheel drive Audi Quattro. Faster even than Hannu Mikkola in many rallies. And Mikkola is the world champion. Stig Blomqvist, to him, rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, they are all the same. And he is the reigning British rally champion of 1983. Here in the Rover, rear-wheel drive, different drive configuration to the Audi Quattro, less horsepower, but this, after all, is very much a production car, albeit modified for a long-distance rally. And Stig Blomqvist, a man of very few words, but when he talks, it's really worth listening to. Off the loose, into the right-hander, round the tree, even looser here as he comes up towards the tarmac section. And Stig locks up momentarily there, and there he's lost time. That shows you how you've got to keep the rhythm going. You mustn't lose forward motion. And Stig's got it all to do. The fastest, Penty Auricula, 2 minutes 27.4. Then Derek Warwick, second fastest. But this is going to be a quick one, no doubt about it. Down to the hairpin. Now let's see how a true expert takes it. Cuts in, lets the back drift out, feet in the power, drives away across the field.
3 seconds under 2 minutes for Stig Blomqvist.
And Stig Blomqvist hits one of the straw bales. That again will have cost him time. And he is not, there's no doubt about this, he's not going to be as quick as fellow Scandinavian, the Finnish driver Penty Auricula. Stig Blomqvist from Sweden. His target time, 2 minutes 27.4. Blomqvist, last corner of the stage, under the banner, 2 minutes 30.6. And here is that ever cheerful American Grand Prix driver Danny Sullivan, who has just finished his first season of Grand Prix driving for Tyrrell. And this is entirely new to Danny. Away he goes, off the tarmac, across the field, climbing the hill, to disappear from view, round the left-hander at the top there, to appear again, and here he is. Danny used to handling big American production cars, of course, but not a production car like this. Not one with the power response of the Rover with its V8 300 horsepower engine, and he's making a jolly good fist of it. But he is actually, you can see it, you can see the difference between Sullivan and a driver of the caliber of Stig Blomqvist and Penty Auricula. Just hear that distinctive, throaty roar of the Rover engine as Sullivan, enjoying the drier conditions. There he goes through the artificial, then onto the tarmac. And this is going to be over 2 minutes as he comes down to this, well over 2 minutes. He locks up the fronts. He's making a terrific effort at the end there. And Danny Sullivan now is back onto the field, into the left-hander. It's going to be a good time compared with the sort of thing that you and I would do, but it looks to me as though it's going to be the slowest time of the day in relation to his Grand Prix and rally rivals. Into the left-hander. Now he's got to straighten up, keep it on the island, go round the right-hander to complete the stage for Danny Sullivan, the last of the Grand Prix drivers. And the time, 2 minutes 32.
There was one or two places where I got coming back out of a little forest up there and I got it too crossed up, but I made all the course this time. I didn't miss any of it.
Even though the car nearly did disappear in a cloud of rubber smoke at the bottom of the hill here.
Well, yeah, I just figured I was braking too early in the morning, so I had to make up for it. And I just wanted to get down there late and just pull the handbrake on and have a straight shot.
But this is the man. Tony Pond, 3 times a winner of the rally sprint, rally driver par excellence. Not only that, but he has driven the turbocharged MG Metro for Austin Rover in the British Saloon Car Championship this year and done incredibly well. And Tony is, in many ways, the best British rally driver of them all. He is calm, he is unflurried, he is tremendously experienced. He drives in rallies with great success, not only in Europe, but also for much of the season in South Africa. And just look at this for car control. This is a real expert at work. Seven-year-old Tony Pond from Fingest in Buckinghamshire, and he has just driven against all expectations the Rover V8 to 3rd place in the PO Rally in France, and that was an incredible performance because it was a very tight, Nadgery demanding course, and Pond, to everybody's consternation, brought this big Rover home into 3rd place, and he really is going. He won in 1980, he won in 1981, he won in 1982. He's driven for Ford, Triumph, Talbot, General Motors, Vauxhall, Datsun, virtually everybody. And look at the way he's going down to the hairpin. This is the quickest yet. 1 minute 51. That's class. That is real class. You are looking, I am sure, at the fastest man on the rally stage, because nobody, but nobody, is holding a candle to Tony Pond. He's just got the left-hander straighten up and then into the right-hander before the finish banner to go. And this has got to be the winning time coming up, in which case Tony Pond will have 12 points. 2 minutes 24.6.
Tony, a tremendous run. That was 2 minutes 24.6, which is 8 seconds quicker than you were going this morning in the wet, and is comfortably the fastest that we've seen. Was it a perfect run, or did you have any problems?
No, it wasn't quite perfect. I went out on the grass once and actually had to feather. I think somebody could go quicker than that.
So you really rather like to have another chance?
Yes, can I have another go, please?
Typically Tony Pond. So at the end of the rally stage, with the auto test and the race still to come, unsurprisingly, it's the rally men in the lead. Tony Pond with 12 points, Auricola second on 10, Blomqvist third with 9, Danny Sullivan, the top Grand Prix driver, with 8 points, and then Warwick, Watson, Mansell and McRae.